Now coming to the next topic, that is economic and non-economic activities. Now how do we define economic activity? An economic activity is an activity which is performed with the basic objective of earning money and creating wealth. And non-economic activity is an activity which is performed sheerly out of love, sympathy or patriotism. Clear? Now example of non-economic activity would be your mother cooking food for you at home. She's doing it out of love and affection for you, right? But at the same time, whatever food that she's cooked, right? She has also started a dabba service, right? She makes tiffins for people in the nearby offices and she sends it to them for money. You having the same food made by her is a non-economic activity, but when the same food reaches different offices in a dabba and she gets about 150 rupees for each dabba, it becomes an economic activity. I being a teacher, I'm teaching my own child, I'm teaching out of sheer love and affection, right? But if I start to charge money from my daughter's friends, okay, that becomes an economic activity. That becomes an economic activity. So the basic difference, a same activity, this can be asked as a question in your examination also, that give an example of an activity which can be economic and non-economic at the same time, right? That is, अगर मैं tuition पढ़ा रही हूँ, ठीक है, to a group of 6 students, उसमें से एक मेरी daughter है, बाकी 5 उसके friends हैं. I am teaching, the product is being delivered at the same time, right? It is an economic activity because I am charging money from those 5 students, and it's a non-economic activity also because I am teaching my daughter as well, right? Who's not paying anything. I am doing it only out of sheer love and affection, right? So economic activity is performed with the basic objective of earning money. Non-economic activity is basically performed out of sheer love and affection, right? Now, economic activity can further be classified into 3 parts. That is business, profession and employment. Now, business, as we have already defined that what is business? Business is basically, it includes all the activities. It's a set of activities which are performed with the view of sale and exchange of goods and services, right, for money, right? So business में आ जाता है production and procurement of goods and services with the purpose of selling them to the customers, right, for some money, right, with the view of earning profit. Now profession क्या है? Profession में basically आएंगे आपके doctors, lawyers, chartered accountants, right? And employment, when you are working under an employment agreement for a stipulated amount of money, right? Now, although all 3 of these, business, profession and employment, all 3 of these, they are economic activities, but yet they are different from one another, and we can differentiate between business, profession and employment on the basis of these points, right? What are these? These are points of difference. Points of difference between business, profession and employment, right? We'll take up each point one by one and we'll see how it is different. Now when we talk of mode of establishment, how do we start a business? It is purely an entrepreneur's decision. It is purely an entrepreneur's decision, right? One fine day, he decides that I have sufficient amount of capital, I have a good business idea, right? Good business idea, and it can be given a practical shape, and once given a practical shape, there is a lot of scope, right, for making profit. Fine? So it is dependent upon the entrepreneur's decision. When we talk of profession, right, it is not that one fine day I decide कि ठीक है मुझे डॉक्टर बनना है और अगले दिन मैंने अपना क्लिनिक खोल लिया और हो गया. No. For all professions, right, you have to become a member of a professional association, right? For example, to become a lawyer, you have to be a member of the bar council. आपको आपका एक नंबर दिया जाता है, right? In order to be a chartered accountant, you have to be a member of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. You have to be registered there. ठीक है? आपका लाइसेंस प्रॉपर दिया जाता है, which is going to be cancelled otherwise, right? And but for employment mode of establishment क्या? It is on the basis of the employment agreement. At the time of you being employed, आपको जब hire किया जाता है, आपको एक अपॉइंटमेंट लेटर दिया जाता है जिसमें टर्म्स एंड कंडीशंस लिखी हुई. दैट इज अ मोड ऑफ एस्टैब्लिशमेंट ऑफ एम्प्लॉयमेंट. देन वी टॉक ऑफ नेचर ऑफ वर्क. यहाँ पे क्या है? प्रोडक्शन एंड प्रोक्योरमेंट ऑफ गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ सेल टू द कस्टमर एट प्रॉफिट. प्रोफेशन में क्या है? इट इज सर्विस मोटिव, टू रेंडर सर्विसेज टू द कस्टमर्स फॉर अ स्टिपुलेटेड अमाउंट ऑफ फी. Employment में क्या है? You are going to perform your work for a salary. Whatever work for which you have been employed, right? You are going to take care of that work for a stipulated amount of salary. Qualifications. There are no minimum qualifications which are required to start a business. Even an illiterate can start a business. जो दूध वाला दूध बेचता है वो भी business कर रहा है, right? Because अपना कॉस्ट के ऊपर प्रॉफिट मार्जिन लगा के वो आपको दूध बेचता है. इट्स बिजनेस, बट उसके पास कोई क्वालिफिकेशन नहीं है टू बी अ बिजनेसमैन, राइट? बट इट इज बिजनेस. फॉर प्रोफेशन, definitely whatever your requirements are of that profession, like that to be a doctor, minimum you have to be an MBBS, right? Thereafter you do your MD, you do your DM, etc. That is your professional qualification, right? For employment, as per the employment agreement, whatever minimum educational qualifications are required, you must possess that. Then reward. For business, it is profit or loss. For profession, it is a professional fee. And for employment, it is your salary. Capital investment. Huge capital investment is required as far as business is concerned. Right? Let's say if I plan to start up a tuition center of my own, मेरा business है, मुझे पहले एक कमरा rent पे लेना पड़ेगा, right? I'll have to purchase the basic furniture required. I have to purchase the blackboards. I'll have to install an AC, right? So a lot of capital investment is required. Clear? Then, as far as profession is concerned, we can't say no capital investment is required, because if I am a doctor, I'll have to make my own clinic, right? I'll have to arrange for an office बनाने में उसमें आपका थोड़ा बहुत capital investment लगता है. Clear? But yes, as compared to business, the capital investment requirement over here in profession, they are limited. Employment, no capital investment is required. Then coming to risk.